Where you stay on Lefkada can completely change your trip. Choose the right area and the island feels easy, relaxed and unforgettable. Choose wrong and suddenly every beach, restaurant and sunset involves a long drive and unnecessary stress. Here are my top 3 best and worst places to stay in Lefkada. And number 1 on my worst list, it's the place most first-time visitors book, because on paper it looks perfect, but the reality is far from that. But let's start with the best places to stay in Lefkada for first-time visitors. At number 3, it's Agios Nikitas. This is one of the most beautiful villages on Lefkada, a tiny pedestrian-only village with whitewashed houses, turquoise water and a beach right at the end of the street. It's one of the few places on the west coast where you can stay by the sea without feeling completely isolated. You've got taverns, cafes and sunset views all within walking distance. And Milos Beach, one of Lefkada's most stunning beaches, is just a short hike or water taxi away. That said, it is small and it gets extremely busy and crowded in summer, and nightlife here is basically non-existent. This is best for couples and relaxed travelers who want scenery and charm, not parties or shopping sprees. My favorite places to stay here are Telion Suites, Hotel Nefeli and Aphrodite Pension. But if that sounds a little too quiet for you, this next one is where Lefkada gets much more convenient. My second pick is Nidri. This is the most popular place for first-time visitors, and honestly for good reason. It's lively, easy and packed with restaurants, bars, shops, boat tours and excursion options all in one place. You don't need a car here. Buses, taxis and boat trips are everywhere. And it's the main hub for island hopping to places like Meganisi and Skorpios. The downside, the beach here is calm but not spectacular, and in peak summer it can feel crowded and very touristy. But if this is your first time in Lefkada and you want things to feel simple, social and well connected, Nidri just works. My top hotels here are Yo-Yo Rooms and Studios and Adria Apartments. But if you want maximum flexibility, walkability and zero stress, nothing beats my top pick. At number 1 for first-time visitors, Lefkada Town is the safest, smartest base on the island. It's where the buses run from, where the shops are, where you'll find the biggest choice of restaurants, bars, supermarkets and accommodations. You can explore the island with or without a car, enjoy nightlife in the evenings and still reach beaches like Agios Ioannis and Gathisma easily by bus or taxi. Yes, there's no beach directly in the centre, but for convenience, atmosphere and flexibility, this is the easiest place to stay if you're new to Lefkada. If you want to explore without constantly checking Google Maps and driving times, this is it. My favourite places to stay here are Pirofani and Hotel Patrai. Now let's talk about the worst places to stay in Lefkada for first-time visitors. These aren't bad places, they're just bad bases if you don't know what you're getting into. At number 3, it's Mikros Gialos. This area looks like paradise online, a peaceful turquoise bay with apartments right by the water, and it is beautiful, but it's also incredibly isolated. There are only a handful of taverns, no real village centre, no nightlife, and no easy transport. Every time you want to explore, shop, or see another beach, you're driving steep roads back to the main highway. This works for couples who want to stay put and do nothing, but for first-timers trying to see Lefkada, it quickly becomes limiting. But at least you're still near the sea. This next one takes isolation to a whole nother level. Next at number 2 is Karya. Staying inland in Lefkada might sound central, but villages like Karya are completely detached from the island experience most people want. No beaches nearby, almost no transport, limited dining, and winding mountain roads every single day. You'll spend a lot of your trip driving just to reach the coast, and after a few days, it gets exhausting. It's authentic and charming for a visit, but staying here as a base is just a mistake for most first-time travelers. Unless you actively want rural mountain life, this is not the Lefkada people imagine. But now for the place that looks the most tempting online but causes the most regret. The absolute worst place to stay in Lefkada, in my opinion, is Athani. It is dangerously misleading, close to Porto Katsiki and Egremni, two of Lefkada's most famous beaches. It sounds perfect, but in reality, it's remote, poorly connected and offers almost nothing beyond views and a couple of taverns. You still have to drive down steep roads to reach beaches, there's no public transport to rely on, and you're miles from shops, nightlife, or variety. This is fine for photographers or people who want total isolation, but for first-time visitors, it often turns into long drives, limited food options, and a lot of "we should have stayed somewhere else." But now that you know where to stay in Lefkada and which areas to avoid, you're going to want to know which beaches, hotels, and experiences are actually worth prioritizing. Because if you don't, you'll waste time driving to overrated spots and miss what makes this island special. And that's exactly what we break down in our Lefkada travel guide playlist right here.